Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So, in the last class, we discussed about network architecture diagram. So, whatever yesterday we discussed, all those classes are completed networking concepts. Today onwards, our main cybersecurity or security will start. Okay. So, today onwards, don't skip the classes. These classes are very, very important. And so we can start our security part. And till today, whatever we discussed so far, those 14 classes are completely belongs to networking concepts. So let's start now. Network and cyber attacks. Before going to the attack classification related to network and cyber, first I have to explain about how the attacker will do hacking part, and also what is the process he will follow. So next one is when the attack is trying to do, what are the preventive mechanisms we can implement. So those two frameworks we'll first discuss. After completing these two frameworks, then we can go and we can start about different types of classification of the network and cyber attacks. So today agenda is main. Two different types of process or frameworks we are going to start. And once this one is completed, then I can go and I can discuss about network and cyber attacks. So first and foremost, cyber kill chain process. Second one is Mitre attack framework. So these two, cyber kill chain process and Mitre attack framework, these two are interview point of view are very, 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 very important. Each and every interview, we can expect these two questions. What is cyber kill chain process and what is Mitre attack framework? It's very important. First, I will explain about cyber kill chain process, and after that, I will explain about Mitre attack framework. So first one is cyber kill chain process. What is the cyber kill chain process? This is basically from the attacker point of view. So whatever hacking we are doing, that hacking mechanism is called offensive mechanism. Once the attack is trying to do any hacking or any attacks or any intrusion or any malicious activity, that entire process we can call offensive mechanism. When you say offensive mechanism, the attacker will compromise something and they will try to ask either blackmailing of the money or bitcoins or payment of the ransom, all these. So cyber kill chain process is an offensive mechanism. So in bracket I'll put it is an offensive mechanism. And who will do this offensive mechanism? This offensive mechanism will be done by attacker or hacker or intruder or threat actor. All these are synonyms. Already we discussed part of our definitions. So how we can define this cyber kill chain process now? Attacker will use step by step or phase by phase approach how the attack exploration will happen. So attacker or intruder or threat actor or adversary, what he will do, he will follow a couple of steps or phases or process, and finally he will do hacking part. That is called cyber kill chain process. Under cyber kill chain process, we have couple of pages or steps. Those steps attacker will follow. Cyber kill chain process or steps. Those steps are, first one is recon or reconnaissance. Second one is weaponization. Third one is transport or delivery. Fourth one is exploitation. Fifth one is installation. Sixth one is command and control. This command and control also called C2C. Next one is actions on objective. So these are all the 7 phases attacker will follow to do any compromise. That may be on the endpoint side, like a laptop or MacBook or external desktop, That may be the network side, like router switches, or maybe any other printers, or maybe database servers, or application servers, or applications, or cloud, and so on. So that hacking process or hacking approach is called as cyber process. There are 7 steps are there under cyber process. First one is recon or reconnaissance. Second one is weaponization. Third one is transport or delivery. Fourth one is exploitation, installation, command and control, and finally actions on objective. Now we can go and we can discuss about in-depth analysis of each and every phase. What is recon? What is weaponization? What is transport? What is command and control? And finally, what is actions on objective? First one is recon or reconnaissance. Example, you are the hacker. You want to compromise something. Which one you will choose first? Think like you are a hacker now and you want to hack something. Which one you will choose first in the organization point of view? Anyone? Anyone? Which one? So first we have to choose whether I want to do hacking on the server or database or one of the laptop or one of the mobile or one of the application like a Twitter, Instagram, and so on, one of the cloud instance. So that particular process is called as a recon or recon. Selection of the target or selection of the system is called as a recon. So first process, as a attacker, if you want to attack something, first you want to identify which one you want to hack it. Example, maybe you want to do some of the robbery. In that scenario, maybe you can go and you can identify which house I want to do robbery, right? Same thing here also. Which system or server or database or cloud instance or maybe application or endpoint machine I want to compromise. So that selection is called as recon or reconnaissance. So selection of the target. Targeted machine or a targeted system. Selection of the target or system or application or database or server or endpoint or network or cloud and so on. So that is called recon. After that, now what we have to do? So we have to do weapons. Which weapon I have to choose to compromise the system? So weaponization part. So whether we have to develop any of the malicious scripts or whether I want to guess the password like any account you are using, or whether I want to use some of the malicious malware files like a PDF file or Excel sheet or maybe any PPT documents. So those are all called as weapons. So weaponizations. Using of the weapons like a malicious code or scripts or input or files and so on. So that is called weaponization. So example, if I want to say practically, I'm opening now. So as we discussed yesterday, yahoomail.com. In this scenario, if I want to compromise this application now, I want to go and I want to see whether any SQL queries or any HTML queries or any PHP queries is it trying to execute or not, whether it is possible or not. So I can go and I can verify. In case if it is possible, then attack will happen. So that is a part of malicious scripts. In the similar way, if you want to compromise one of our laptop, then first we have to send in files or maybe so any infection to the respective system. So that is like a weapon now it will act as. Okay, so that is the weapon part. Next one is transport or delivery. Once you are choosing the, okay, example I will give. Example, Excel sheet or PDF files or scripts like a PowerShell or Python or input. So all these are like a weapons, it will act as to us. Next one, transport or delivery. So transport or delivery side, once you are choosing the weapon now, so what we have to do? So we have to send it to respective targeted mission. So how this is possible? Example through emails. Example through accessing something through websites. That is a part of transport delivery. Sending the malicious scripts or code to targeted mission. So that example is email. Delivery means sending, right? So transport or delivery part, email or websites. Yeah, so these are the couple of the example of the how to transport or delivery. Next one is exploitation. What is exploitation will explain about to us. After sending this one, what attacker will do? Attacker will identify any loopholes are existing, any weakness is existing, any problems are existing. So that is called exploitation. Attacker will verify is there any weakness or vulnerability or problem or issue or bug is existing in the targeted mission. So that is exploitation now. Once we will identify the any problem or any issue now, what attacker will do? So attacker will install that particular attack into the end user system and system will get compromised. Installation. Attacker will insert or inject into the targeted mission and finally system will get compromised. When you say system, not only just our laptop, it will come everything. System means laptop or workstation or desktop or server or application or cloud or, and so on. So that is install it. Basically, attacker will install that one any code or any scripts or any websites, and finally he will compromise our system. So once he is compromising now, command and control. Now remote control is there with the attacker. Attacker will control our machine. That particular process is called as command and control. This is day before yesterday one of the interior question. What is command and control? So attacker will compromise the system and he will gain remote or virtual access and he will control the system. Example, nowadays all the televisions or TVs, monitors and even fans and also air conditioner. So all these things we are monitoring or we are operating through remote control. So remote control is nothing but command and control only. You are sitting on the couch or sofa, then you are so operating your particular TV or air conditioner or fan. So how you are doing? Same way, command and control meaning an attacker will compromise the system, then he will control our mission. And whatever attacker will say, respect to targeted or victim IP or victim mission, it has to listen. That is called command and control. Finally, the actions on objective. So meaning here, what is the actions on objective? What is the goal of the respective attacker? What objective of the goal of the attacker? Any attacker, why he will do hacking part? Mainly there are two reasons. One is money or either he needs data. So these are the two reasons attacker will do any hacking part. So attacker will achieve the goals by blackmailing money, or data is called as actions on objective. So this process is completely part of cyber culture process. Every attack, whatever we are going to discuss, will follow cyber culture process. Now, so this is a completely offensive. When you say offensive, attack will do hacking part. That is offensive mechanism. These steps will follow how to do hacking part as per cyber culture process. We have some other process also, but this is very famous process, and nowadays each and every tool are integrated to this particular process. That is about cyber culture process. Now what we can do, we can take one practical example, one of the attack. That attack is called as malware. We can take now malware example, and we can discuss about all these pages also, each and every page, how attacker will do hacking part. Okay, so now this is a process, this is step, this is description. Next one, attack. Attack is malware category of the attack. So nowadays how the interviews are, it is not like a straightforward way. Explain about cyber culture process or what is cyber culture process. They will expect like take one practical example and explain cyber culture process. Okay, now we are taking malware is a practical example. We can take any attack. So malware is a very popular attack. That's the reason I'm taking this one. So recon. So in the recognize page, what is the malware side? Same thing. Selection of the target. Attacker will choose the selection of the target. In the weaponization phase, attacker will develop malicious software program code. So attacker will develop, not malicious means a dangerous one. So he will create one of the malicious software program code. After that, in the transport or delivery side, attacker will forward or delivery those malware code via email or executing in websites. So after developing the code, now what attacker will do? Attacker will send that code to either through files format or to end user machine or any targeted machine, and also he will execute those websites wherever the scripts are existing. That is transport or delivery. Next one is exploitation. On the exploitation side, attacker will identify vulnerability or weakness. In this scenario, maybe our EDR agent is sleeping, EDR or antivirus agent. This is one of the weakness, or patch updates are not happening regularly, or antivirus agent sleeping. So these are weakness attacker will identify now related to target machine or system or server or database. Installation. Once he will identify the loophole or bug or issue, for example, you want to do robbery. Okay. In that scenario, in case that particular door, wherever you want to do robbery, lock is not existing. That is weakness or not? Yes, it is a weakness. It is easy way. We can go and we can take furniture or gold or money to whatever home or house we are trying to do the respect to robbery, right? Same way here also, attacker will identify the loopholes now. Once he will identify the loopholes now, he will install that particular malware. Attacker will insert or inject and execute the malware code into targeted machine. Now installation, what will happen? Installation over, command and control. Now finally system will get compromised after executing those malicious code or scripts into the target machine. Then command and control will go to the attacker. Finally, attacker will gain a remote control to targeted mission. Then attacker will ask, money or payment or so data. This is the way how attacker will do each and every page. Any attack you can take. So this is the way how we can follow and you can explain about cyberculture process. So that is the first framework, and it's one of the popular offensive technology attacker will use it. Second one, as I said, Mitre attack framework. That is the second one. This already we discussed. We are repeating once again by the way. Mitre attack ATT@CK framework. Couple of people they will call it as a Mitre also. So what is Mitre attack framework? It's offensive and defensive also. Combination of both offensive and defensive mechanism. So that is Mitre attack framework. So now you can see A means adversary in the attack. ATT@CK. So in this attack full form is A means adversary, T means techniques or tactics first. Tactics. Next one, another T means techniques. Next one, CK means knowledge base. So tactics, techniques, and knowledge base. Who will use adversary? When you say adversary, this is also called as a hacker or intruder or attacker. So adversary is also called as a hacker or intruder or attacker or threat actor also. Now how we can define this Mitre attack framework? It is a centralized knowledge base. Attacker will use different types of tactics, techniques, and procedure how to hack, and also even it will provide preventive mechanism as well. Nothing but mitigation part. So in the attack itself, it is showing it is centralized knowledge base. Attacker will use different types of tactics and techniques and procedure how to hack it. And additionally, it will provide mitigation or remediation or preventive mechanism also. That's called Mitre attack framework. So how to define this one now? It is centralized knowledge base. It contains tactics, techniques, and procedures, and also how to hack target system, and additionally it will provide mitigation or remediation or preventive controls. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Apologies, guys. Yeah. It is centralized knowledge base. It contains tactics, techniques, and procedure, and also how the attack will happen by the attacker. And additionally, it will provide a preventive mechanism also. So that's why we are saying Mitre attack framework is a combination of both. You can see offensive as well as a defensive mechanism. But what about cyber kill chain process? What is cyber kill chain process? What is cyber kill chain process?
Offensive.
Cyber kill chain process completely depends, completely offensive only. How to hack it? It will not provide any mitigation, what to do and how to do, and so on. It will not take care of instant response and remediation. Attack will do hacking. That's it. That is called cyber kill chain process. But Mitre attack framework process, what it will provide, how the hacking will happen, and also whenever something got compromised, what are the steps we have to take care of to do the infection cleaning. That's called remediation or mitigation. So that's why it is combination of both offensive plus defensive. Now, who will use this Mitre attack framework? Who will use this Mitre attack framework? This Mitre attack framework will be used by Blue team. Nothing but our team only. Blue team is also called SOC team. Security Operations Center team, our team, or Red team. Every organization nowadays they are recruiting Red team also. Instead of they will do proactive research and development. So security team also will go and will verify is there any hacking is possible from the attacker point of view. That is called red team. Next one is a threat hunters. Whenever any hacking happen or hunting of the threats will be done by threat hunters. Next one, it will be used by cyber security analyst. It will be used by attackers. It will be used by reverse engineering team. It will be used by incident response team. It will be used by malware analysis team. So there are different types of teams can be used this Mitre attack framework. Okay. So that is about Mitre attack framework. And as per Mitre attack framework, tactics. So we have 14 tactics. These are all very, very important. Those 14 tactics are, so now I will open Mitre attack. It's a website basically. Just you can go to Google and you can type Mitre or Mitre attack framework. And after that, you can click on Mitre attack. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So click on Mitre attack. Once you are clicking on this one, you can see here. So this Mitre attack framework, it's an open source. It's a free of cost. It's a website. This Mitre attack framework is developed by MIT institution or university. MIT University is one of the topmost in the worldwide. In between top 5, it will be existing. It's a Massage Institute of Technology in USA. That particular MIT institution is developed this particular website or framework, and continuously they are updating. And what they have done, they created these tactics and techniques and procedures, TTP. TTP shortcut is full form is tactics, techniques, and procedures. They defined this Mitre attack framework in the enterprise level, nothing but very big multinational companies or big data or CMM5 level companies. And next one is mobile based. Okay, mobile side tactics and techniques and procedure, and also it is provided preventive mechanism. Next one, ICS. ICS is nothing but industrial controlled system. So in our BTech, we studied SCADA. Next one is MATLAB, programmable logical, PLC. Next one, electrical, civil, mechanical. All these will fall under ICS, industrial control system. So they have defined these tactics and techniques and processes for ICS also. So now we can go on, we can discuss about enterprise level. So these are all the different types of tactics on the enterprise level. There are 14 tactics: reconnaissance, resource development, initial access, execution, persistence, privilege escalation. All these are 14 tactics. So how many tactics we have now? 14 tactics. What are those tactics are? Recon or reconnaissance, resource development, initial access, privilege escalation. I'm not giving the proper sequence. Persistence, lateral movement, impact, credential access, data exfiltration, execution. We have 10 are completed, remaining 4. Remaining 4 are defense evasion, discovery, collection. Last one. Let's see which one I missed out. Command and control. Yes. Command and control. So these are the 14 tactics are defined by our Mitre attack framework. These 14 tactics now divided into techniques, 500 plus techniques. So now you should be aware of the, at least for these 14 tactics, each and every tactic. Okay. When you say tactic, basically selection of the target, whatever. So how the attacker is doing the hacking part and what type of technique attacker is used. Now we can go and we can see example. So these are the different types of tactics 1 to 14. Recons or recognize selection of the target. So what adversary means attacker. That's what I said. The adversary is trying to gather information they can use to plan future operations. Meaning here, so whenever attacker wants to do any hacking, so in future he will do selection of the target or selection of the system. So that is called recon or reconnaissance. So this is now tactic. Once you are clicking on this tactic, now it will provide definition. Now we can see technique. So attacker will use, these are all the different types of techniques now. So first one is active scanning, like a port scanning. So how attacker will do IP address identification or any vulnerabilities are existing or any applications are existing. So any end of life supports are existing and so on. Active scanning he will do. So example, now you can see twitter.com example. Is there any vulnerabilities are existing in this application? Is there any loopholes are existing? Is there any code issues are existing? We can identify even outdated vulnerabilities also. Attacker will do scanning of this application and he can see. There is no need to go to, no need to work in the Twitter company. You can go and you can directly, this is a public website. You can run a couple of tools and you can identify which one they are using, end of life or end of support. Okay. So this is one of the example. Active scanning is one of the technique attacker will use. In this similar way, this is on the application side. I'm giving example, practical example. If it is on the endpoint or server level, the attacker has to identify what ports are open. Example, we have seen Nmap tool. If you know IP address of the machine, what ports are open? Is there any dangerous ports are open, like port number 80, HTTP, port number 3389 RDP, port number SMB, server message block 445 related to ransomware attack. So all these will fall under part of active scanning. So what is the first one? Recon part active scanning. Example. So technique recon or reconnaissance is a technique. Under this one we have Active scanning is a technique. Tactic. Now technique. Now, in the similar way, you can see another technique what attacker will use, scanning of IP blocks. So that's what I'm saying. You can use Nmap tool like a Kali Linux tool. You can see is there any publicly accessible IP addresses are open. So that scanning of IP addresses is one of the technique. Next one, what attacker will use? They will use other techniques like vulnerability scanning. Is there any ports are open? So attacker will do vulnerability scanning. In such a way, one tactic has so many techniques. All these are techniques. Clear now? So one tactic has more than 20 techniques also. That is the reason 14 tactics are divided into. So how many techniques? 500 plus techniques. Out of all these 14 tactics, very, very important one are privilege escalation. It's very important. Persistence, it's very important. Lateral movement, it's very important. Finally, data exfiltration, data breach. These 4 techniques we have to remember. Okay. So example, now we can go and we can see our privilege escalation technique. So privilege escalation is a tactic. Under this one, we have technique like, go back to here. So persistence, privilege escalation, click on this one. So first of all, what is persistence meaning here? Whenever you are onboarding any company, whatever laptop or asset they are giving to you, they will not give any admin access. Why? Because if you have the admin access, you can delete or update or modify or change the content in the laptop or asset. So that is the reason always they will give asset. In the similar way, do you think that Facebook app or Instagram app or Twitter app or YouTube app, do you have admin access? No. You have user access. Then who has the admin access of the Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? Whoever is developing the website or application, those people have the admin. They can add, they can delete, they can update, they can modify code, whatever programming language they are using. But whoever acts in public, they don't have any admin access. Now, what is privilege escalation? First, attacker will compromise our username and password as a user. From there, he will try to get admin or root username and password, getting the lower level access to higher level access. That is called privilege escalation. Okay. Now, under this one, getting the lower level access in the any system, user to higher level access. Higher level access always is admin or super admin. Is called as privilege escalation. Escalation is moving from, escalation meaning moving from one person to another person or one place to another place. That is called escalation. Here it's moving from user to admin. So that's why it's a escalation part. Every system has couple of controls that is called role-based access control. Before going to privilege escalation, I have to provide what is RBAC, role-based access control. This is applicable to any system or any database, any server or any application. Read only, nothing but we can read and we can view, but we can't add or delete or modify or update. View only, we can read as well as view, read and write. Okay, we can view only, we can also call it, read and write. Read only is all called view only, sorry. So write only. Read and write, we can read as well as write, and admin and super admin. So these are all the different types of access and also user access. So this is called based on your role, based on the work, whatever they recruited for, according to that one, they can give privilege or access or grants. That particular process, we can call it as role-based access control or RBAC. Now, this area we can discuss this once again in future, part of vulnerability management. What attacker will do now? Attacker will gain initial access as a user. From there, he will gain the higher access or higher admin level access. That is called privilege escalation. Now, for privilege escalation, what are the tactics attacker will use or techniques attacker will use? Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. They given, okay, so system or root level access, it's a high level access. Local administrator high level access. Admin is a high level access. Once again, more than user is high level access. What is the technique attacker is using? Abuse elevation control mechanism. So attacker will use couple of controls to change or gain the higher level permission. That is called abuse elevation control mechanism. So this is from the authentication and authorization point of view. So this one of the technique attacker will use. In the similar way, another technique is set UID, set GID. This is applicable to Unix operating systems. So yesterday we were discussing about Unix and Linux. So this set UID or set GID, set UID and set GID. So this is one of the Unix initial controls. We have to define approximate 3000, I think 3000 or 3600. That is the UID. This is applicable to Mac OS also. So that is the way how the packet is traversing from source to destination. So attacker will get the using this technique. Attacker will try to get the higher level access. Bypass user account control. Nothing but user will gain the example in our practical scenario. I will gain your Gmail access. From there, user level 2, whoever developing the Google or Gmail application, part of our Gmail, like obviously it's a developer, web developer or application developer or application programmer. I will try to get the application development related admin username and password. In case if I will get admin username and password, I can delete the code. Whatever developers they are developing the code, I can inject malicious scripts. So that is one thing. Bypass user account control. That is meant by this one. In this similar way, there are so many other techniques also. Pseudo catching. So this is once again Unix side. So all these are different types of techniques attacker will use part of privilege escalation. Okay. In this way, it's very difficult to remember 500 techniques. I know it's very difficult, but at least whatever I put green color, privilege escalation, persistence, lateral movement, data exfiltration techniques you have to remember. Privilege escalation techniques are just now we discussed these three. Abuse elevation control mechanism, set UID, set GID in Linux or Unix operating system or Mac OS, bypass user control related to account or authentication. So in this way, at least for these green color, whatever I given, so you have to remember, so techniques. Next one, we can discuss about persistence. It's one of the tactic. What is this persistence basically? Attacker will enter into the organization level and he will withstand that footprint. What will happen? This particular persistence will do. Attacker will monitor continuously, and whenever any loophole it's happened, automatically it will compromise. So that is basically called a persistence. So now you can go and you can see what are the techniques are there. Attacker will monitor continuously and will identify the weakness and he will withstand his footprint. How to compromise the system? So that is about the persistence part. Under this persistence, once again we can discuss all this. You can go and you can see now under persistence. I'm going back now. So persistence, the adversary is trying to maintain their foothold. That's what I'm saying. So attacker will inject any of the scripts or malicious malware data, and finally he will try to monitor continuously like a foothold, that is called as continuous monitoring, is called a foothold. And finally, whenever any weakness attacker will identify, then he will compromise the system. That's called persistence. Click on this one, and now we see what the techniques attacker will use. Account manipulation, additional cloud credentials, additional email delegate permissions, SSH authorized keys, device registration. So these are the couple of controls, couple of techniques of the respective persistence part. So account manipulation is one of the technique. So what is meant by account manipulation? Basically, whatever victim IP attacker is identified, he will elevate the access from user to admin, and also he will do the some of the actions and modifies the or change or delete or update all those access for compromised account. That is called account manipulation. Meaning what? If I compromised your Facebook account or Twitter hacking part, then I can maintain the access to elevate to admin, or maybe I will take care of the compromising of the code or any other phishing email or phishing URL manipulation I can to other people as well. So that is called account manipulations. In the similar way, additional cloud credentials. So in this one, adversary, what he will do in the cloud accounts, whatever we do have, and he will try to get the access to those cloud instances. And once he's getting the access, then he will try to get the other level of the access related to cloud service providers. So that is part under additional cloud credentials. In the similar way, there are so many. Sorry, you don't need to remember everything. At least you have to remember two techniques for this green one, whatever I given. Next one is the lateral movement. What is this lateral movement meaning here? If one system will get compromised, other systems also will get compromised. That is called lateral movement. If one system is getting compromised, other systems also will get compromised. So that is called lateral movement. So example, if I want to say our practical day-to-day life, if someone is getting cold in their family, other family members also will get cold. So one more practical example, from past 3.5 years due to pandemic, at the time of pandemic otherwise. So one person is getting coronavirus, that particular infection is going to other people as well, or it went other people as well. That is like a lateral movement only. If one system is getting coronavirus, other people also getting coronavirus through air and water or by touching physical and so on. Same way, if one system will get compromised, other systems also will get compromised. That is called lateral movement. Now go and verify techniques now. Some of the techniques attacker will is related to lateral movement. Exploitation of remote services. Here, using botnet. Nothing but it will compromise one system through networking protocols. Other systems also will get compromised through remote services. So that is one thing. Internal spear phishing. This one you can say at the time of the interview. internal spear phishing. Spear phishing meaning here, first of all, phishing email attacker sent a mail to 100 phishing email, 100 end users. I'm the attacker now. Right now in the class 14 people are joined. So now if I know your email address, I will attach one of the malware or one of the URL manipulation or one of the code to your email. Now once you are clicking on that one, your system will get compromised. Out of 14, maybe 3 or 4 members will click on that one and their system will get compromised. So that is called spear phishing. So coming back to lateral movement, here more than one person is getting compromised. So that is called, this is a lateral movement, part of internal spear phishing. This one of the technique attacker will use. And lateral tool transfer and remote service session hijacking, SSH hijacking, okay, RDP hijacking. All these are part of our couple of techniques attacker will use to gain or to compromise one system to another system. So that is our lateral movement. Next one is a data exfiltration. Data exfiltration meaning here, exposing of the data, breaching of the data, leaking of the data. That is called data exfiltration. Leaking of the data or breaching of the data or exposing of the data is called as data exfiltration. So under this one, what are the different techniques attacker will use now? Exfiltration only it is existing, that is nothing but data exfiltration. So what attacker will use? Example, DLP related use cases. Automated exfiltration, traffic duplication, data transfer size limits. Attacker will try to upload large amount of the data or huge amount of the data in OneDrive or Google Drive. That is data transfer size limits, basically. Okay, so this is one of the popular technique. Next one we have exfiltration over Bluetooth. Bluetooth also he will try to compromise. Exfiltration over other network media. Exfiltration over USB. Yeah, data leakage through pen drive or memory stick. This is one of the data technique attacker will use. USB or pen drive or memory stick or external hard disk. So these are the couple of techniques attacker will use to do data exposing or data stealing or data breaching. Clear? Yeah. Now these are techniques. So far we discussed about 4 only, but in future we can discuss. 14 tactics are divided now. 500 plus techniques. Just now I have shown you one tactic contains so many techniques also. Example, in our scenario, this data exfiltration, it's one of the tactic. Under this one, there are so many techniques are there. Okay, that's why 14 tactics are divided into 500 techniques. Now, how you are using this Mitre attack framework in your organization? You know what is Mitre attack framework, but how you are utilizing this Mitre attack framework? This Mitre attack framework, it will give tactics, how the attacker is hacking, whatever technique attacker is using, and even mitigation as well. So example, if I'm clicking on the USB side, once again, exfiltration over USB. If I'm clicking on this one, procedure examples. Attacker, what are different procedures attacker will use? So using agent BTZ, this is one of the procedure. Okay, match it is one of the procedure. Mustang Panda, it's one of the procedure. REMSEC is one of the procedure. So these are all the different types of procedure attacker will use to USB side data exfiltration. So this is a procedure now. Mitigation, that's what I'm saying. Even Mitre attack framework will provide defensive mechanism or preventive mechanism or mitigation. So this is the mitigation. We have to implement DLP and we have to block USB or pen drives or how the data is leaking. And second one is disable or remove feature or program related to data leakage or data outage, limit hardware installation. So don't allow to everyone to give and access through pen drive or and so on. So there are mitigation. So that is the reason I said it's a combination of both offensive plus defensive. I have shown practically also, right? So attacker will use whatever tactic and technique and procedure, and even what is the mitigation also available. That is the reason Mitre attack framework is a combination of both offensive and defensive mechanism. In your organization, how you are utilizing Mitre attack framework? Enter the question. In your organization, how are you utilizing Mitre or Mitre attack framework? How we will utilize nowadays? What are EDR tools? Endpoint detection response. Those EDR tools are integrated to our Mitre attack framework. In this similar way, this Mitre attack framework also integrates SIM tools, SOC tools. Once we are integrating, whenever any alert or any hacking is happening, then we will come to know what type of tactic attack is used, techniques attack is used, and preventive mechanism as well. Okay. In my organization, we integrated Mitre or Mitre attack framework to EDR tool and SIM tool. EDR is nothing but antivirus tool. SIM tool is nothing but log monitoring or any security incident alerting tool. Integrated SIM tool, so that whenever any attack will happen, it will give TTP, tactics, techniques, and procedures. And also, it will provide mitigation as well. That is the way how we are utilizing in our organization level. Clear? So that's all about overall Mitre attack framework. Okay, so you should be aware of this entire thing. Next one, we can move to our attacks now. These are all both offensive side is cybersecurity process. Offensive plus defensive side is per our Mitre attack framework. Next one is category of the attacks. Next topic, category of the attacks now. What are those category of the attacks we have related to cyber? One is malware category. Second one is authentication failure category. Third one is spoofing category. Fourth one is flooding category. Next one is OAS top 10 category. So these are the different types of category of the attacks we have. Now we are going, these attacks approximate, it will come around 50 plus. Those 50 attacks now we are going to discuss. Next 3 to 4 classes. 3 to 4 is not sufficient, it will take 5 classes. So first we are going to discuss about malware category. So malware is nothing but, first of all, so it's a malicious software. In simple words, malicious software, that is called malware. What are the first 3 letters of the malicious is mal. What are the last 4 letters of the software is a where. If we are combining these together, then we can call it as malware. Clear now? So who will develop this malware? This one will be developed by attacker or hacker. Malware will be developed by attacker or hacker, and he will inject or insert into the system, and then he will compromise system as per cybersecurity process. So that is about malware. Now, what is sources of the malware? Nothing but how the malwares are entering into organization level. Sources of malware. What are sources of malware we have? First one we have
firewall.
drive-by downloads. No. Source of the malware means how the malwares are entering into the organization level. Drive-by downloads. Nothing but something you are downloading from the internet. Example, I went to YouTube and I downloaded one of the movie. That movie has a malware. If I don't have antivirus agent, my system will get compromised. So drive-by downloads means downloading something from the website. Enter a question. Downloading files from website. That is called drive-by downloads. Maybe you went to Netflix or you went to Hotstar or you went to iBomma and you download one of the movie. So that movie has maybe one of the malicious file or malicious malware. Then if you don't have antivirus agent in your system will get compromised. That is called drive-by downloads. Next one is file access to removable devices. File access to removable devices meaning here copying something through pen drive or memory stick or external hard disk. That is called as file access to removable devices. Copying of the files using USB or pen drive or memory stick or external hard disk. These are all things we can call it as removable devices. Meaning here we can remove that one easily. That's called removable devices. We can insert as well as we can remove also. Now, one more thing is clicking on phishing malware attachments or clicking on malicious URL links. Whenever you are receiving any email, in that scenario, if you are clicking on that particular attachment or maybe URL link, so in case that file or URL link contains any malware, it will execute in your system and your system will get compromised. So that is called clicking on the phishing malware attachment or clicking on the URL links. So these are the sources of the malware now. Now, symptoms of the malwares. What are the symptoms of the virus of the corona? So we have like a sneezing nose, or sneezing or running nose, or maybe fever, or maybe cold or cough and so on. That is symptoms of the coronavirus. In the similar way, what is symptoms of the malware in any system, or how we can detect and how we can identify. So,
Running slowly.
yeah, performance low. Performance or speed will be slow. Second one is
Hanging.
automatic shutdowns. Without your knowledge, your system will shut down. Next one, automatic restarts. Without your knowledge, it will restart your system. Next one, hanging. Your system will hang out. Next one, cursor movement. If you are clicking on one web browser, or example maybe, if I'm clicking on this one, it will open some of the another web browser or new tab. So that is called cursor movement. Next one, every system contains some of the technical features like a RAM or CPU or bandwidth, RAM or CPU or bandwidth utilization. In case this RAM or CPU or bandwidth utilization are reaching more than 70%, baseline is 70%. Is crossing more than 70% in the server or in databases, in end user systems or in applications or web servers, we have to suspect something abnormal activity is happening. Okay, so these are the symptoms of the malware. Okay, now how the malwares will enter into organization? Through files, most of the cases files. Through files. Example, different types of files are, example file formats are, or file extensions are .dll, it's one of the dangerous file extension. .exe, it's Excel sheet. .doc, it's Word document or Microsoft Word document. .7zip or zip. .zip. .rar. .pam or pem. Next one .xml.
CSV కదా.
Yeah, .html, .csv, .pdf. All these are different types of formats through these files. So .dll is one of the dangerous file. In the similar way, .7z is one of the dangerous file extension. In the similar way, .7z rar. Yeah. So these are the couple of dangerous file extensions. So that is the reason these firewall file extensions, whenever it's sending through emails or downloading something from the internet, we have to block it. Okay, in the firewall level. So that is about how the malware enters into organization through files way. Next one, malware category of the examples. Malware category of the attacks examples. So fruit is a category or flower is a category. Under fruit we have banana, apple, pineapple, okay, watermelon, and so on. So under fruit we have so many category of the fruits we have. In the similar way, so flower is a category. Under flower we have jasmine, rose, chrysanthemum, lotus. All these are flower names, right? Same way, malware is a category. Under malware category, we have so many. Okay, so attacks will fall under. Those attacks are virus, worm, Trojan,
Adware,
backdoor, ransomware. Yeah, adware also. Ransomware, adware,
spyware,
spyware. Next one, keyloggers or keystrokers or key logging. The next one, botnet, logic bomb,
phishing also.
no, phishing separate, logic bomb, 0-day, rootkit, mimikatch, lollybeans, lolbeans. All these are entire questions, nested entire questions. Lolbeans. Next one. Yeah. So botnet, logic, virus form, Trojan, backdoor, ransomware, rat, remote access Trojan, Yeah. So these are all the couple of the malware category of the attacks. If something I missed out at the time of the definition, I will explain. Virus, worm, Trojan, backdoor, ransomware, adware, spyware, keyloggers, botnet, logic bomb, zero-day rootkit, mimikatch, lolwins, rat, PUP, potentially unwanted program. All these are malware category of the attacks. Okay. So in the similar way, we have spoofing, flooding, and also we have WASP top 10, authentication failure category, and miscellaneous. If something is not fall under any category, example, phishing email. So we can discuss. So far, we completed 2 process or frameworks. One is cybersecurity process and Mitre attack framework. In the tomorrow class, I will start all these attacks. Okay. So these attacks are very, very important. These attacks only will take care of the instant investigation or forensic analysis or vulnerability analysis or instant response or mitigating of these incidents using EDR, firewall, proxy, IDS, IPS, SIM tool, and web application firewall or email gateways. Yeah. So that is about overall malware category of the attacks, cyber process, and Mitre attack framework. In the tomorrow class, what I will do, I will start about definitions. Clear? Yeah, today onwards, our main course or content or syllabus is start related to security. So not only this one, that doesn't mean that you should not ignore previous classes, what are 14 classes we discussed. Those 14 classes also very, very important. Okay. So that's it, guys. Do you have any questions? Any questions within half an hour? I will upload this video. And if you have any queries, please let me know in the tomorrow class. Okay, guys, then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.